I would be so angry as a black person being taken advantage of like this, just constantly over and over and over again. You're just letting people play with my emotions just so I vote for them, just for them to never fall through with what they promised me or what they told me that they could do for me.
Subscribe to this channel. In case you are watching this channel and you have not subscribed.
Man, oh man, the Democratic pander. I can't get enough of the story. I think I kind of love Gavin Newsom for this because it's just one of those things where Candace told Black America, but was called Uncle Tom and a coon who didn't support reparations. I told you it's never going to happen. Obviously, it's never going to happen.
Doesn't even make sense how it could happen.
But Democrats will make you think it's going to so that they can get your vote. So this is what happened in California. I'm going to put this on rewind for you. We discussed this on the show. And if you want to laugh, you should. This is a very good story to laugh to. So back when George Floyd was, after following his death, everybody, politicians stood up, justice for Black America, justice, we got to do things for Black America. And Gavin Newsom jumped on this and he signed a bill creating a task force for reparations in September of 2020 because they were going to explore finally just giving cash to Black people who had never been slaves. They were going to take that cash, I guess, from white people who had never been slave owners. It makes so much sense, right? But Black Americans jumped on this. The task force had a 9-member group, and they studied the economic effects of slavery and discrimination in the state, which is weird because, just so we're clear, California had slavery banned before it ever even joined the Union. So this was just such foolery. It's hard to imagine.
I didn't know California ever even had slavery.
People could be this stupid, but it isn't that difficult to imagine when you actually examine the education in California, those other topics I talk about. Here's an actual fact about California. 75% of Black boys coming through the California education system cannot pass a basic literacy exam.
How,
75%. So what happens to that 75%? Well, I would imagine that
75%? What? I guess the reading standard doesn't mean that you just can't read, but dog, 75% cannot read at their reading level. That's really a problem that needs to be focused on. Why are they not getting the education that they need? I know that I get that there's a lot of hoods and ghettos in California, but 75% of all Black guys in California cannot read at their reading level. That's insane.
They grow up and they become the kinds of individuals that jump on the opportunity to join an absolutely meaningless task force and believe that they're somehow going to receive $10 million. I don't know. That's my guess. They become idiots. And these negotiations.
Bro, even if they got $10 million, the $10 million would not be worth $10 million. Like, it would just ruin the whole economy. And even if they were able to make the $10 million work, which they should, but not for that long, because you can't just give people money and expect them to know how to manage it or expect them to know how to invest it. Like, people are typically poor for a reason. But even if they did get this money and they were able to manage it how they wanted to, it would ruin everybody else's finances. Anyone that's working a regular job that didn't receive this $10 million is going to be screwed. They won't be able to afford a gallon of milk. They won't be able to afford gas. They won't be able to afford anything, dog. A gallon of milk would be like $100 if everybody got $10 million in California. Like, the prices of shit in California are already insane. People can already barely live. And if you just gave every Black person $10 million, dog, that would destroy California.
This study, this panel, things got wild. I showed you on the show. At one point, they were saying they deserved $10 million per Black resident if they could prove that they lived in California for X amount of years. I mean, complete lunacy. But people were testifying about the struggles of never having been a slave and why they need the money and how it would help put them ahead, or blah, blah, blah. You get the point. It was ridiculous. It was something to be laughed at. Well, guess what? The 9-member group obviously then voted to recommend that the state does in fact send checks of up to $1.2 million per a Black Californian based on what has been lost to specific types of racial discrimination. So there you have Gavin Newsom. I approve this panel coming together in the wake of George Floyd. The panel gets together, they vote, they say yes, $1.2 million. And then what does Gavin do? He says, no, you know what? Actually, that's crazy because I think the problem is so much bigger than money. Literally on Tuesday, he declined to endorse any specific recommendations made by the task force.
Right. That $1.2 million per resident could go into plenty of different lanes. Like it could go into the education system, the housing system, the like finding them work, keeping that, I don't know, like it could be used on 1,000 different things other than just going right into their pockets to do whatever the fuck they please with it.
Instead, he argued that dealing with the effects of slavery and discrimination is about much more than cash payments. In a statement to Fox News, he said this, quote, "This has been an important process, and we should continue to work as a nation to reconcile our original sin of slavery and understand how that history has shaped our country. Dealing with that legacy is about much more than cash payments," as he pledged to continue to advance systemic changes that ensure an inclusive and equitable future for Californians. And what's he talking about there? Well, breaking down barriers to vote, which is a lot of words to say. We just wanted your vote, you silly black people. What are you talking about? We're not giving you any.
There's no way people got tricked by that. There's no way, man. Like, I get being tricked by the $10 million and fighting for that, but whenever he pulls that out and says, "Oh no, let's put it into where you all can vote," dog, there's no way people got tricked by that. Obviously some, but there's no way the majority of them got tricked by that. I would be livid, dog. I'd be, especially the people that were on the task force team. Oh, I would be pissed. There's no way Gavin Newsom really thought that he could give people that much money. There's no way he thought he could give people $100,000. Like, from what? That's such a crazy thing to, like, it's not, I guess not promise, but it's such a crazy thing to even offer out to people, is that I want to give you $10 million for stuff that your ancestor went through. And people really believe that. Like I said before, even if you was to get it, you should at least be smart enough to know that that would destroy the economy, at least in California.
Money. You vote for us. You get how this works. You get nothing in return. We put together this task force to give you guys a little play thing. And like, come on, you're really, or do you think we're going to cut you checks? That's not how it works. We're going to create more things that allow us to extract wealth in the form of tax dollars, more meaningless things like task forces. And we're going to say that we're fighting systemic racism. But in reality, what we're doing is just, again, taking your taxes and doing nothing with it, paying ourselves. We are the communist state of California. Did black people really fall for this? Yes, of course they did. Go back, watch the videos of them testifying passionately about the ills of the slavery that they didn't live through. And
I've seen those videos and I just assumed, well, I didn't assume, but I just thought to myself that these people are just doing it because there's $10 million on the line. Like, why would you not fight for that? But dog, I would be so angry as a black person being taken advantage of like this, just constantly over and over and over again, just being played with just letting people play with my emotions just so I vote for them, just for them to never fall through with what they promised me or what they told me that they could do for me. Using my history, using my color, using my heart and my soul and what I care about against me to get me to vote for you when you aren't going to do anything for me. I would feel so taken advantage of. I can't believe that it's just so, like, it's not out in the open, but it damn near is. Like, if you have two eyes and a good head on your shoulder, you should be able to see what the hell is going on. That's just so petty.
And I don't feel bad for them. I'm laughing. I'm going to continue to laugh. I'm at the place now. I just don't care anymore. I just got to the point where I was just like, I don't know how many times I can tell you this is happening. You keep calling me names while you're standing behind Gavin Newsom, who is, of course, the ultimate racist. Not because he thinks you're too stupid to figure this out, but because he has proved over and over again, as he has empowered himself, and you continue to give him your votes, that you are too stupid to figure this out. So I'm glad you all wasted your time. Do what he says and continue to vote for him for the rest of your life. And hate Candace Owens because she tells you the truth. All right, guys, that is all the time that we have for.
That shit is sad, man. I really feel bad for Candace Owens because she is one person that I believe, like, actually genuinely wants black people to do better. She sees the problem with Black America. She genuinely tries to help. And every single time she does, she gets called a racist slur by her own people. It's so unfortunate, man, because I would feel the same way as her, like just, all right, fuck y'all then. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of that video. Please leave a like. If you guys got anything to say about the video, let me know down below. You know I'll read every single comment. And if you fuck with your boy, will you please give me a subscription? With that said, deuces.
be in the stew like cut the beat up. You left my heart colder than a freezer. I swear my new one don't deserve it. Ain't come home till 6 a.m. She think I did that shit on purpose. And I just got off of work and hit the studio to work. And I ain't seen you all day. I know you feeling unimportant. I just left you in the bed.